So, this is going to be a video that's taken a bit more seriously than most of my content. This is just trying to be a rational discussion about an issue that I see. This isn't like some groundbreaking fucking rally for a cause type thing. This is just something involved with the Dark Souls community that I feel strongly about and need to bring up. So, if you're here expecting like a massive shitpost, then you're probably not in the right place. I mean, I'll probably make some jokes here throughout, but I don't know. So, I hope you guys enjoy regardless. Hey guys, what's up? Big Tim Cast 6 here, and welcome to a Dark Souls rant. I don't know if this is a rant or more of an, what would the word be, editorial? I don't know if it's more of a rant or, I don't know what you want to classify this as, but basically I'm just going to be talking in a whole about Dark Souls Remastered and what it's done to the Souls series. So, if you don't know, Dark Souls 1 was remastered and released again, which sounds like an amazing thing. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore Dark Souls 1. I think it's better than the third game, honestly, but Dark Souls has had a long history. It's technically started with Demon Souls and also has Bloodborne thrown in there, but it went from Dark Souls 1 to 2 to 3, as no shit, that's how numerical fucking rankings work, but it's gone from the first game all the way to the third, and it's evolved. Now, the first game, in my opinion, was fucking brilliant. I loved every fucking minute of it, aside from Blighttown, pretty much. That just, fuck that place, but the rest of the game is perfectly fine. My issue with Dark Souls Remastered is that it's not a true remaster. There's barely anything that's been done to it. Yes, I know they've spruced up the graphics a little bit and added like password matching, a feature from Dark Souls 3 that the first game could have desperately used, but I don't think that warrants a $40 price tag for an old game that barely has been had anything added to it. I'm aware of the frame rate improvements in areas such as Blighttown where your frame rate would go to dog shit, but if people really wanted that, they could just get they could just play the Prepare to Die edition on PC, and that solves the issue. So, there's really no reason for this remaster to exist. All it's done is separate the community from people that like the remaster and people that don't. And frankly, I wouldn't have an issue with this remaster, even with it not adding very much, if it wasn't forked up to a $40 price tag. $40 for a game that barely has anything done to it to be called a remaster just isn't worth it to me. The only real upside you'd get from buying Dark Souls Remastered is if you never played on PC and you're a console player and you just want the game to be more populated and with better frame rate. And since this is technically a new Souls game from FromSoft, everyone's flocked to it. Which this is another negative impact it's had on Dark Souls 3. Before the release of Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 3 was full of players, full of PvP and invasions in all spots. Now if you go on there, you can't even find a person to invade in any area except outside Pontiff Sullivan. And then if you do, it's just going to be a fight club. The release of Dark Souls Remastered has completely killed Dark Souls 3. I wouldn't, again, my main issues with the remaster are that the $40 price tag and that it's killed the previous game. And I genuinely don't get everyone's infatuation with the remaster. Yes, it looks slightly better and has better frame rates, but it's basically just Dark Souls 1. And again, that'd be fine. Dark Souls 1 was a fucking brilliant game, but they didn't remaster it. It doesn't feel like they did anything worth a fucking $40. Take Modern Warfare Remastered, for example. This game also had a lot of controversy, but at least it added new content. It gave some reason for the game to exist as a remaster. When Modern Warfare Remastered was released, they added Easter eggs into the campaign, they added new cheats, they spruced up the graphics majorly. So why couldn't Dark Souls Remastered? I know to make a remaster you have to remain faithful to the original game, or it's not even a remaster at that point. It might as well just be its own game, but is that really a bad thing? If we had Dark Souls 1 with actual proper remastered graphics, maybe some new features or a new DLC or something, I could understand a $40 price tag, but $40 for a game I already own and play regularly is not worth it. It doesn't give anything. I wouldn't be worth my money. It would literally just give me some mild graphic improvements and frame rate increases. That's not worth that much to me. I'm not trying to shit all over FromSoft or the Dark Souls community as a whole. I absolutely adore the games, shy of the exception that we don't speak of, but Dark Souls 1 was a great game. I can't stop reiterating that, but this remaster is not what the game deserved. And just the fact that it's killed off the previous game and that there's barely anyone playing Dark Souls 3 at this point is my main issue with it. Ever since the third game has come out, Dark Souls 3, not the third game, ever since the remaster has come out, the game's been a wasteland, filled with just people that try and host fight clubs in Pontiff Sullivan's area and then send you hate mail when they kill you. The game has just been reduced to shit, and that's not fair. Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1 are great games, and I don't want either of them to die, but Dark Souls Remastered was not what the community needed. I'm sorry if at any point I come across as forceful about my opinions, but that's just how I feel on this subject. So I will not be buying Dark Souls Remastered, I will not be making any Dark Souls Remastered videos, I'm just going to stick to the third game and the first. I know essentially that the Dark Souls Remastered is the first game, but it's not worth $40. I hope you guys somehow managed to enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.